Lin Feng, biggest sourcer, I guess, for Walmart, isn't it? I guess that's what it's best known for.
Well, yes, the Walmart deal's relatively new, and they should start sourcing from Walmart from about now, and we're looking for them to source about $2 billion worth of goods over the next 12 months for Walmart. And the results they should report after market tonight should be very strong. We're looking for 30 to 40% EPS growth year on year. But the really exciting thing is the acquisitions that they should be able to announce. So the stock's been suspended for 2 days now.
Yeah, we're waiting for something, aren't we? And we've got a war chest here of something like $1.2 billion US.
Yeah, about that. If you put together the cash on hand, they've raised $750 million in terms of bond issuance this year. And if you put that together with their credit facilities and operational cash flow, they've got a theoretical acquisition war chest of $1.15 billion US, and they probably mean to spend it. So tonight we would expect to see very large acquisitions in terms of then integrating IDS into their services, which should boost bottom line by about 7%, and maybe another large acquisition as well.
Screaming buy for you?
Well, it's very expensive. The stock's trading on 32 times earnings before the impact of the acquisitions. So it's a very good stock to hold, and we think there's
Providing you've held it for a while.
We think there's about 10% upside at least, but there's better stocks out there.
Yeah, well, talk to us about one of the others, because I've got a list of 3 that you wanted to talk about. I.T, Peak Sport, Manoir. Which one do you like out of those 3?
I love them all.
You love them all? Which one is the screaming buy then, Matthew?
The screaming buy right now, I think, is I.T, 999HK. It's a small cap turning into a mid cap, a very successful fashion retailer.
That means it gets tracked then as well, doesn't it? More so by some of those medium-sized equity funds, if you like.
That's right. I think the stock will put on about 40% between now and Christmas. And
that's a big call. 40%.
Yes.
Right.
Well, the real driver is their Chinese operations are swinging from loss into profitability, and at the same time they're having a very good time in Hong Kong. The company's been operating in Hong Kong for 20 years, and right now Hong Kong retail sales are very strong. We're looking for same-store sales growth from IT of at least 12%, which should really drive earnings this year.
Matthew, let's have a look at what's going on with another company. Manoir makes sofas, makes chairs as well. Cheers, I think, is their brand. And
Manoir, everybody's favourite furniture maker. They specialise in recliner sofas.
I don't know.
And they IPO'd. Well, they relisted in Hong Kong on the 9th of April, and since then the stock's done well, put on about 30%, but we think there's a lot more upside.
Well, this deal, Chinese railway deal as well, high-speed trains across China, could be getting their reclining sofas or reclining chairs on board.
Well, they also supply tables and chairs to some of the locomotive manufacturers in China. And that new deal's worth 145 million Hong Kong, but that's only about 3% of next year's revenues. There could be much more deals like that in the pipeline, but the main drivers for Manoir, there's 2 drivers actually. The export business, which is about 70% of their business, where they're taking share in the US, they're doing very well. In fact, their factories are operating at full capacity, which is a good problem to have. And 30% of their business is a domestic business in the PRC, where they're growing out their #1 brand, Cheers, very quickly, and building out new stores. So there's 2 drivers for Manoir's profit growth, which is why we like it so much.
Very quickly, we've only got 5 seconds. Peak Sports makes shoes.
Peak Sports makes shoes and also sports attire. They sponsor NBA basketball in China, which is an incredibly powerful branding vehicle. It's an absolute screaming buy.
Thanks very much indeed for that. Matthew Marsden from Samsung Financial Securities.